right, welcome back to Stormwatch. We are here to recap. We're the Willises. We're here to recap the most recent game for the Carolina Hurricanes, which was at the deficit of the New York Islanders, as they will go home and end their playoff run for the 2023-2024 season, exiting in the first round after only 5 games. The Hurricanes were able to put it away in 5, and fairly emphatically, though the Islanders managed to find a way to keep getting back into this game up until a point where they couldn't. So what was your impression of the game overall? And what are you thinking?
Well, it was so key that we got off to a good start.
Huge start. Ideal start for the Hurricanes.
Ideal
2
start.
goals within
2 quick goals.
Yeah, I mean the first goal was like a minute 20 in, and
within 3.5 minutes we've got 2 goals. One was puck luck. Svech's backhand was kicked in. Or no, it was hit in by stick, the defenseman's stick.
Yeah, Bertuzzo accidentally puts it in his own net. But Aho with a net drive, and Svech is trying to find him. The defenseman has to do something to prevent that pass getting through, and unfortunately it ends up in the back of his own net. But the Canes were on the power play at that point, so to some degree they had earned it. But yeah, early in the game, ideal start for the Hurricanes. But then the Islanders would make it 2-1.
They pressed. Well, not only that, at the end of the first period, where's the shots? 30 to that can't be
21 to 4 at the end of the first
right
at the end of the first period. So,
and then after the second, it was 30 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So even shots.
Had some new line combinations in the first period. I thought were working pretty well.
It's interesting.
Turbo with Jarvis and Stahl centering that line, which is an interesting line. And then you had Kuznetsov, Kotkaniemi, and was it Drury with them?
I think it was Drury with them.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Wait, hold on, let me confirm that.
Well, you do that, but if I take a step back, and I talked about the first period being key, and it was, and we did get some puck luck through this game. Thank God, finally. It was just another one of those Islanders games. They're just a weird team to play against.
Yeah, Martinook, Drury, Natchez, at least that was on the projected lineup for tonight.
But you got to hand it to them. They stay true to who they are.
Yeah, they hang around, and they had 3 goals. They ended up tying it with 3 goals. Okay, so we're getting ahead of ourselves. So 2-1. Then what was next? Jesus,
Brock Nelson.
So excited from.
Well, after it was 2-1, that's where we had the penalty, the penalty shot for covering the puck in the crease.
Right. Okay. Right. Jeez. Yeah. That was the beginning. Okay. So Turbo gets us started. Then Svechnikov. Then Mike Riley on the power play. That would be just 30 seconds after Svechnikov scores his goal. They would make it 2-1. So there goes your 2-goal lead right there. That was early, so you're a little bit worried. But the Hurricanes definitely put the pedal to the metal kind of after that. They killed off another penalty after that, and that really gave the crowd some momentum and the Hurricanes some momentum. The Hurricanes would press for most of the rest of that period, and Kuznetsov would score with 7 minutes to go in the period, like you said, on a penalty shot that's awarded to him, or to the Hurricanes rather, because one of their players in a scramble covers it on the puck. And Kuznetsov was out there for that shift. And so they earned that chance. Him and Nason were, doing some dirty work down low to earn that. But period would end 3-1. Then Nelson would get it started for the Hurricanes for the Islanders in the second period, making it 3-2. So there goes your 2-goal lead again. Islanders crawl back in it. This one, on first glance, I was like, oh, Freddie's got to make a save there. But it deflects off of Chatfield's stick to go under his 5-hole. It actually had some elevation, but it ends up beating Freddie 5-hole. And then Casey Cizikas would score with just over 22 seconds to go in the period. This one was so hard to watch because Freddie gets up, he makes there's some movement, there's a puck, down low. It gets directed back up to the boards, and as it's going back up to the boards on the right side, Freddie's right side. He's moving that way, and he stumbles to his feet, pass to the slot to Cizikas, who puts it in literally a wide open net.
Yeah.
Freddie was.
I thought Brendan Moore had pulled the goalie, but I was mistaken.
Yeah.
I thought that's strange in our D zone to pull the goalie.
Yeah. So you said that the first goal from Riley was also deflected up at the point.
Yeah.
I don't really fault him for that one. That one was just a blast, like, top shelf, really hard, fast shot. So whatever. But then, the Chatfield one on first glance, like I said, I thought was tough, but this one was certainly tough. I don't know. He wasn't great all night. Late in the third period, maybe not super late in the third period, but there was a moment where it was about halfway through. It was about 12 minutes to go in the third period.
Through the legs and off the bar.
Yeah, it goes through, kind of a broken play down low, scramble down low, and one of their players makes a centering pass through the slot that actually goes underneath Anderson through his 5-hole, and he directs it off the post. Luckily, Chatfield is able to get there and do just enough to Anders Lee's stick to make him miss the puck.
Yeah, he whiffed on
it. But that that definitely was a moment that Hurricanes got away with, and they got some other bounces in this game on the game-winning goal from Drury to make it 4-3. Right. I can't remember who took a shot, but the rebound gets blocked by a defender. The rebound falls right to Drury's stick. He makes a great shot, no doubt about it. But it does fall right to his stick, and he beats Varlamov low blocker side. That blocker side, they've been testing him all series on it, and it's been highly effective.
So let me ask you
and then
a question.
6 seconds later.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
6 seconds later, we would score another, and this one, very similar. Just kind of how close it was to the last goal. Felt like game two. Yeah, game 2, where we came back and scored the tying goal and the winning goal within like 9 seconds of each other. You've seen this play before if you've been watching hockey long enough. I've certainly seen it before, but they throw it in, it hits a stanchion as Varlamov is trying to go around the net to get to the puck as it's eventually going to make its way behind the net. It bounces off that stanchion, rolls right along the goal line, and it's a race between Varlamov and Nason to get to the puck, and Nason just gets there first, and
Johnny on the spot.
So super timely goal. Like I said, 6 seconds after we scored,
and that was
the other
it.
Goal. Yeah, it was over from there. The Islanders, you could tell, they had maybe a couple shifts where they threw it down in our zone, but really not much, pressure, not many shots. They struggled to get Varlamov off the ice when they needed to. He did get off for a little bit, and then we would eventually hit the empty netter. But yeah, the game in the series was pretty much over after that one. So the game had a handful of bounces that went the Hurricanes' way. They had a couple that didn't go their way. Svechnikov was great in this game. He was all over it. Teravainen with the first goal of the game, such a smart play to just snap it off, very quickly. Yeah. Varlamov did see it, but just not in time to react properly to it. So yeah, I think, good game overall by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I think it was a very good game.
Shots were 38-25. Block shots were 15-17, so pretty even. The face-offs Hurricanes had a decided edge in this one, 41-28. So reversing the script. Both teams did score on the power play. The Hurricanes for one on the power play. Wait. That was huge for them.
We were out face-offed. Oh no, we weren't. 59-41.
No, we're not.
Wow. Because the reason I said that was Pajot was like winning 81.
No. 41 out of 59.
Oh, they got okay. But I'm looking at the face-off percentage. It's
okay. Well, I'm looking at face-offs won in total. We won 41 compared to their 28. So I don't know what the percentage is on that.
59.
But, yeah. Okay. I didn't catch.
No, but the reason I was surprised was the announcers were giving stats and it wasn't as bad as last game face-off wise, but we were still trailing, so we must have really came on strong because I know Pajot was winning. He won like 19 of 23. It was amazing.
Yeah, he was.
But then I was thinking to myself,
he's great at the face-offs.
Then I was thinking to myself, Pajot as a player, maybe that's his claim to fame. Maybe he's just a good face-off guy because he didn't really impact the game that much, does he?
I don't know. I think his line is kind of similar to the way that the Stahl line
more
plays for us
checking.
typically. Now we're getting new looks with Stahl this year that we haven't really seen in years past, or different combinations other than Faust and Martinook, that lockdown kind of style. Niederreiter was on that line for a bit, but yeah.
Why do you think he did that? Because think about it. We're up 3-1. The game they won, we took them to double overtime.
The game they won. Yeah,
and we had the series in control. It wasn't like we were desperate to change our lines up to get action going. We're scoring goals.
Why did he change the lines up? Why did he do
that? That's my question.
So there was one quote that I thought was very good. He said something to the effect of, well, when you can get more engagement and more kind of grinding down low, those are the type of goals you score more of in the playoffs. And so by doing this, you provide someone on every line who can get down low and grind, right?
Makes sense.
Get in front and get a tip. Drury can do that on the line that he's on. Nason obviously could do that on the line that he's on. Stahl can do that on the line that he's on. And if you've got, Teravainen and Jarvis firing the puck a lot at the net, the theory would be that if Stahl's down in there as well, they could. And that line was great. I thought that was they played great.
They did find the lines. I was just curious why he would do that.
Yeah.
So the announcer said something during the game.
The theory.
And I kind of want to get your opinion on it. They said that the Canes roster has the most players with over 50 playoff games out of any team that's in the playoffs.
Really? I mean, we've been going to the playoffs a lot lately, and we've been making it past the first round a lot lately. So, yeah, I mean,
and you bring in Gensel, you bring in Kuzi. They have that amount of experience. So, yeah. I wonder if they're counting Raanta. Does Raanta have a playoff experience? They can't be counting. I'm
sure
Raanta he's not on the active roster. Okay.
No, he is.
He is?
He's activated.
Okay.
Yes.
So he can come in if we have an injury.
Playable. Okay. He's a playable option, as is Maxime Comtois, as is all the other
I didn't know whether
he had ECHL call-ups and all that stuff. Yeah.
So I lost my train of thought. Let me think what it was. You threw me off there, but
impressive series overall. We both predicted 6 games. It ended up being 5 games. The Hurricanes didn't really play their greatest until I thought for stretches of this game, but the Islanders definitely, had a better second period than us for sure. But yeah, the Hurricanes definitely have another level to get to. I think some of the players got there. Svetch is definitely there. He's playing great.
I saw some more activity.
His best game of the series. Svetch had his best game of the series, and he has been playing well this whole series. So he's really playing excellent right now. I think he's been the most consistent forward for the Hurricanes in this series. Gensel, I'm looking for a little bit more out of.
His his puck. He lost control of the puck that turned into a goal.
He had a couple misplays with the puck today that were a little, whatever. Everyone has an off game, but I wanted a little bit more impact out of him. Shea had a great game. He had a couple assists.
Yeah. So I mean, Natchez was quiet.
Jarvis got the empty netter there at the end.
Natchez was quiet.
He had some.
KK had a turnover in the D zone that he quickly recovered from and stole the puck back. So he's
going to give you
exactly. I was going to say he's tenacious in that regard. Svetch had 6.
He's had a good series.
Yeah.
Kokoniemi's had a very positive series in my eyes. I've got no issues.
I'm glad to see him in there. I'm glad to see him contributing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad Drury got awarded with that goal. He was +5 on the series, and a guy you don't really talk about. And they talked about it. They mentioned it on the Bally Sports broadcast. He was +5 on the broadcast, and they mentioned that Rod had done some out coaching of Wah in that sense, because if you're able to put up Drury's line up against whatever other line, and you come out with a +5. Like, the thinking would be that you're putting up Drury. He's on either a third or fourth line. Same thing with whoever he's up against the Islanders, and his third or fourth line is coming up as a +5 in the series. Yeah. That's huge, right? If you can get a line like that to be +5, then that leaves your top guys to have to be better than their top guys. And for parts of this series, their top guys were better than our top guys. Anders Lee really made his presence known later in the series. Horvat did. And then Barzal had obviously a great game. Four. Right.
Yeah. So you reminded me when you.
But for parts, that's what I'm saying. For parts, Brock Nelson had some good plays moments as well. But yeah, overall the Hurricanes players were better. They got the job done. What more can you say? Freddie, I thought this was, like I said, I think maybe his weakest game, but we've got enough firepower that it didn't matter. It didn't hurt us in the end. And we capitalized on our one power play effort. We got the penalty shot goal that was huge. We got a couple bounces in this game, but that's playoff hockey, and you'll take it any way you get it.
You bringing up Drury's name reminded me what I wanted to say, and I had forgotten. The announcer said that's his first goal in 33 games. Does that seem right to you? No, just
playoff games
for Drury, 33 games since his last goal. Possible, yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, it was his first playoff goal.
We can't
huge one.
We can't overstress enough how important Kuznetsov's penalty shot was. Big goal. Think about the scoring.
Goal. If you don't get that goal, they go up 3-2 at the end of the second period. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, there's a huge goal. And Varlamov actually gets a piece of it. If you watch the slow-mo, he does a great job with the poke shot. He hits the puck and everything, and he hits his stick, and it just it's just not enough. And it still stays on Kuznetsov's blade, and he still is able to fire. But Varlamov, it's a great poke check. Like, I don't know what else.
So the other interesting thing we can talk about is I know this wasn't Anderson's best game, but he won that series all by himself. We didn't play Kochetkov.
Go back to him in game 2 or in series 2. End of discussion.
Well, that kind of
next question.
That kind of solidifies Brenda Moore's philosophy when it comes to playoff goalies, right? And it's just interesting to think about his history with the Canes, and maybe he took something away from that. I don't know. That go with the hot hand.
I mean, if you'll remember, Martin Gerber had a very critical game in round 3.
Yeah.
I believe, of those playoffs to help us win some games, and then Ken Ward retook back over.
He's going with the hot goalies. What he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So there's if you keep winning games.
Okay, so as you mentioned earlier, you and I both picked the Canes in 6. We were relatively close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I don't know whether that is a comment on our viewpoint, our positive view of the Canes, or just hedging our bets. But
it's interesting because I said that we would win it in 6, thinking it was going to be a slightly tougher series. I do think it was still a very tough series, even though we won it in 5.
Oh yeah.
But there's a part of me that's like, we did for large parts of this, we didn't play. We
never
best.
put 60 minutes together.
So yeah, it's interesting. Like, I was thinking we would need to play our best for it to be done in 6 games. We didn't play our best, and we got it done in 5 games. Am I optimistic about that, or am I pessimistic?
It's a weird series, yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, and why do we have to play the Rangers in round 2?
To win any championship, you have to beat the best.
I know.
And this is the best of the best of playoffs is the Stanley Cup.
These are the 2 best teams in the NHL, and they're playing each other in the second round. There's got to be a way to restructure the playoff. In my opinion, we should match up in the next round ideally. But
yeah, I mean, you can make the same argument about the Avs and the Jets
altogether.
the Bruins and the Leafs.
Yeah, it's because the NHL thinks that they can build like divisional rivalries. But if you only play someone in your division, like the Rangers, 3 times a year, that's not 82 season. That's not enough time to truly build animosity. So looking back at the series, it was 2-1. Then we won 6-1 or 5-1, and then we lost 1-0. Both the low-scoring games we lost, right, versus the Rangers this year. But overall, we scored more goals than them.
Interesting.
In the series. Yeah, I don't know really what to think of that. I definitely remember the game where we beat the Rangers. That was kind of early in January, if I'm not mistaken, as we were starting to really kind of turn things around. Right, we had our Christmas episode, and which was a little bit of a somber episode, but that really was the turning point for the Hurricanes, because immediately after that, we went on a run. We got the 5 wins in a row that I asked for, and maybe the Rangers game might have been one of those wins. So, we can definitely do it, but. The games were tight. The games that they won were 1-0 and 2-1. So we're gonna have to find a way to limit the penalties that we take. Their power play is really good. If our penalty kill struggled this much against the Islanders, what's it gonna look like against the New York Rangers that have a very, very lethal power play?
Yeah, good point.
Is our power play gonna be able to match? I mean, it was better Who had the best in the regular season? I'm assuming Edmonton was number 1 in the regular
mean between
season, but
the
I don't know. I know
and,
the Hurricanes were number 2. Yeah, who had the best regular season? Yeah, that's fine. But I know they've got an elite one, right? You've got Panarin, you've got Kreider, you've got Zibanejad. You don't have all those guys on the lineup and don't score goals on the power play.
Okay.
So one thing that did have me worried about this season is that the Islanders were better at getting kind of the goals. Well, we definitely got plenty of goals in front of the net as well, but the Islanders were very good at tipping pucks. That was a big issue, I thought, throughout this series, is that they always seem to be able to get in position and get a stick on the puck, and we were not really doing a great job at boxing guys out in front and allowing Anderson to see the puck freely. So when you have a guy like Chris Kreider, who that's all he does is tip pucks in the back of the net, that really worries me going into a series like this.
They're pretty stacked team.
I guess let's go ahead. And just get right into that. Is how do you see us going up against the Rangers?
We don't have home ice advantage.
We don't. In the second round of the playoffs, the team with the second best record in the NHL doesn't have
I know.
home ice advantage.
But if we beat the Rangers, we'll have it throughout the rest.
Tough. Then we do. This is true. This is true.
This is going to be a tough series. Yeah. I think
we got to get to Shesterkin early.
I think what's going to be interesting is I was going to say I think we need to be very strong on the forecheck and wear them down as much as possible. But then I just remember that they got Rimpey on the team now. So I don't know if he's going to have he could be a wild card negatively.
He plays less than 6. He plays less than 6 minutes a game. He's not going to. Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, exactly. Negatively, I don't think he's going to have that big of an impact on the series. I really don't. The Hurricanes don't have that style that really calls for him to even be in the lineup.
Right.
And we don't have a guy that's going to drop the gloves with them. Brendan Lemieux, I don't think would go up against him only because of the sheer size advantage. He's like 6'8".
Yeah.
Lemieux's a small guy. He's like 5'8", maybe. He's like definitely
you and I both
shorter.
We both predicted the Rangers to win in 4, so we were pretty confident of their ability. If I'm inclined to be a homer and root for the Canes, it's going to be a 7-game series. But I would suspect that a lot of the analysts are going to pick the Rangers in 6. Just because of the home ice advantage, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're probably spot on with that. It's all going to come down to these first 2 games. If we can steal one of these, obviously,
huge.
I mean, you know how it is. If we can steal one of these, it would be absolutely huge. Is our Dallas and Vegas playing
just
tonight?
looking at the
Scores. That
scores.
series is interesting. It's 2-2, but they've all lost their home games. So Dallas dropped their first 2 home
not
games.
Tonight.
Vegas
right now it's
their
Avalanche 2, Jets 2. Avalanche lead that series 3-1.
All right. Well, back to the East. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if the Hurricane,
look at the bracket.
Having Jesper Foss is really, I think, going to be not having him. I think is actually going to be a pretty big. Because I think you're right. The forecheck is what we need to do with this team. We have to play our style. We can't allow the Rangers to play their style because they've got, in my opinion, maybe a little bit more skill than we do. And so we can't let them have the time and space that will allow them to use that skill. Whereas we can grind away more wins. That being said, the 2 wins that they have against us this year, 2-1 and 1-0. So, they can grind away wins too. So
I don't mind subbing KK in for Fast. I think. No, that's what I'm saying. KK came in the lineup because Fast is out.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, he's been playing well, but I don't know, something about him playing in New York previously and just having a familiarity with it. And I don't know. I feel good about having
it's just a lot of energy
against the Rangers.
Sure. So, John, I want to give you props.
He's a disruptor. He's a bigger disruptor than Kotkaniemi is.
Your props is you picked Florida in 5 games, and that's what it was. I picked Florida in 6. So you're dead on 2 of these.
Mm-hmm. Nothing has been wrapped up
in the West,
correct?
The only,
I guess that'll happen tomorrow.
Colorado could wrap up tonight.
Maybe
that series surprised me. So you picked the Jets actually in that series. I picked the Avs in 6, and they're going to win in 5, maybe. They're up 3-1.
Yeah, so Shesterkin got to find a way to get in front of him and get more. We need to be the team that's getting the garbage time goals. We can't allow the Rangers to do that. We've got to push to keep them to the outside. We can do that. Our shot suppression has got to be elite like it was against the Islanders, but they are a significantly more skilled team than the Islanders. So that shot suppression is going to be tough. I think it's actually going to be a series where, similar to this one, we're going to have to find ways to win games in different ways. And Anderson's going to have to stand on his head for a game or 2 for sure. Yeah, I think if the Hurricanes win this series, Anderson's is going to be huge, or the goaltending in general is going to be huge.
I mean, I don't. When do these games start? Not for another week.
I think they need to. I think they need everyone to kind of wrap up. So I think they even have to wait for the West to wrap up as well.
We'll get some good rest.
So we'll get a break. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing the Rangers in the second round. You can see it all over.
And
my
if
face.
we beat the Rangers, then we're likely going to play the Panthers again. So it's not getting any easier.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's not getting any easier. There's no use crying about it. But okay, so you said Canes in 7.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not picking against the Canes.
I mean, there are scenarios, John, where the Canes can sweep the series. I mean, we are capable of doing something like that. What's that?
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the series last time we played them in the playoffs?
I did look up the power play stat for the season.
2-1 Hurricanes in game 1, 2-0 in game 2. Rangers 3-1, Rangers 4-1, games 3 and 4. Hurricanes take game 5, 3-1, and then 5-2 to the Rangers. 6-2 would be game 7. So, yeah, I wanted to look that up, but you don't glean too much from that, other than it was a pretty tight series. I mean, the losing team scored 1 or less goals in 5 out of the 7 games, and then the losing team only scored 2 goals in the other 2 games. So,
Okay, I'm going to tell you the power play percentages for the regular season. Number one
for this
team,
year. Yep.
Tampa Bay Lightning, 28 point Kucherov.
That makes sense.
And the Carolina Panthers were at 26.9. Second. Oh, Carolina
Panthers, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, we changed our team colors. I didn't tell you that. Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, and then the Rangers, and then
we're number 2.
And yep.
So the Rangers are number 3.
Penalty kill. We're first, Kings, and then Rangers are third. So Rangers finished third in both penalty kill and power play.
Yeah. So I mean, we're talking about the two. Oh man, what a matchup! Yep. Okay, so let's go through it. Goaltending. Who gets the edge?
I'm going to say the Canes.
I don't. It's hard.
I mean, you would predict that over a recent couple seasons, but since he came back from his blood clots, Anderson is the best goalie in the league. Yeah.
Yes, this is true. This is true. You're 100% on that. But Shesterkin is very, very elite, and Jonathan Quick is proven in the playoffs. Now defense.
So yeah,
I give the edge to the Hurricanes from a defensive standpoint, and even an offensive standpoint as well. Yeah, so I give the edge to the Hurricanes when it comes to defense. That being said, they've got some great defenders. Keandre Miller is excellent. Ryan Lindgren, is it Ryan? Yeah.
Keandre Miller, you said.
Yeah, excellent defender. Jacob Trouba. Trouba's not elite, but he can definitely have an impact on a game. He's a very physical player.
Adam Fox is the key to,
and he does have a bomb.
He's Adam Fox, great defense. Yeah. He's the Kel McCarr of the Eastern Conference. And the way that he moves the puck.
Well, he's still but he's not Kel McCarr.
He's got as many Norris trophies.
Very I thought Tony had another good game. Tony's been great since he's come back, and I noticed that even with 5 minutes to go, Tony was still getting ice time. So shows that Rod's got some confidence.
I think the thing that we need to worry about with the Rangers is their first 2 sets of forwards.
Yeah, go through them. Panarin's on there, Zibanejad,
Edstrom,
Kreider,
Barclay Goodrow, Matt Rempe. We talked about him. Roslovic's been playing well. Trocheck. Well, I don't have
go
it by
through their
line.
first 2 lines.
Have a roster. I'm just looking.
Okay.
Trocheck, Winberg.
Yeah, Trocheck is a great
player,
addition
and
for
he
them.
was an addition. Zibanejad, Will Cooley, Chris Kreider.
Yeah, we've got all your naming
Kreider, Lafreniere, Panarin, Jimmy Vesey, Capo Caco, and Blake Wheeler. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn.
They've got a really good lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got
glad we're over. We'll get that series out of the way.
Yep. Yeah, it's a nice little appetizer having the Islanders first, because the Islanders fans are, not nearly as many. They're very quiet. They're polite. They know they don't have the best team in the world. Now we get a real series. No offense, Islanders fan, but we get a real series versus the fucking Rangers, and their fans are so annoying. There's always so many of them at PNC Arena. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm glad the Canes are past the first round. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys again soon. Maybe we'll put out another episode.
Yeah, we should go through our
find
round
the
2
schedule
predictions.
out. Maybe we'll put out an episode. We'll do a little bit deeper dive into versus the Rangers and how that actually could project out rather than us
you'll have to
rambling
edit
here
all
for
that
the past
out.
10 minutes. So again, thank you for listening, and we will definitely I'll chop up a little bit for sure. All right, talk to you later. Bye.